Hi guys! How are you today? Welcome back to my channel Adventures in America. Today we're going to talk about the most frequently asked questions. Also in this video, I'm going to discuss the different requirements for Filipinos. Filipinos can be classified into Overseas Filipino Workers or OFW or non-OFW or returning overseas Filipinos. I will also discuss the requirements for dual citizens, former Filipinos, and foreigners who are eligible to travel. Let's get started. If you are an OFW or an overseas Filipino worker, you need to go to several different government websites such as OWA, Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, a platform for OFW. It's called Oasis or OFW Assistance Information System. Oasis is an online platform for delivering services to overseas Filipino workers, and this platform will provide you services such as repatriation, testing, accommodation, and quarantine. All you have to do is to register to the Oasis platform, and once you register, you will receive an email acknowledgement and you can now update all your information. Other government agencies are POEA, Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, DOLE, D-O-L-E, Department of Labor and Employment, and another one, the POLO, P-O-L-O, Philippine Overseas Labor and Office. If you are an overseas Filipino worker, you will be assisted once you arrive at the airport in the Philippines, as long as you register to the Oasis platform. And once you register, everything will be taken care of, such as the accommodation, quarantine, testing, and even the shuttle to your hotel. Who can travel to the Philippines? The following can travel to the Philippines. First, Filipinos. Filipinos can be classified into overseas Filipino workers or OFWs, or non-OFWs or returning overseas Filipinos together with their families. Number 2, dual citizens. Dual citizens are individuals who possess two nationalities, or they are naturalized citizen of another country. These dual citizens need to bring both passports, such as their foreign passport or their Philippine passport, or if they only have their foreign passport, they needed to submit or bring their dual citizenship documents. Otherwise, you will be denied and be considered as a foreign national. Number 3, who are the foreign nationals allowed to travel in the Philippines? First, foreign nationals who have been granted immigrant visas. Second, foreign nationals. These are eligible diplomats or who have been living or working in the Philippines. Foreign spouses of Filipino citizens, including minor children, regardless of age, of the Filipino national, shall be required a pre-approved visa. Also included are minor children with special needs regardless of age, and foreign parents of Filipino nationals are also required to obtain a pre-approved visa to travel in the Philippines. What is that government regulation that now requires a pre-approved visas for these foreign nationals, including the minor children and foreign parents? It is Resolution number 60, issued by the Interagency Task Force on the Management of Infectious Diseases under the Department of Health in the Philippines, and this is in coordination with the Bureau of Immigration. It is now required that they obtain a pre-approved visa or a tourist visa, or it is equivalent to the non-immigrant visa abroad before traveling in the Philippines. Also, please take note that these foreign nationals are subject to inbound capacity for passengers traveling in the Philippines because Filipinos are the first priority. Also, foreign nationals are required to do a pre-booking of a hotel and a quarantine facility before coming to the Philippines. For those applying for a visa, please take note of the following. Visa applications and requirements must be sent by mail or courier. Do not use FedEx. The consulate will only accept machine-readable passports and e-passports or biometric passports or passports with the microchip logo that are valid at least 6 months from applicant's departure date and with at least one blank passport visa page. The visa officer can request additional documents to determine whether or not the applicant can be issued a visa. Depending on the applicant's passport, visa processing will take 7 to 10 business days, excluding the time it will take for your visa to be delivered. The application may require clearance from other government agencies in the Philippines. You need to adjust your travel schedule accordingly. It is suggested that a ticketed reservation or a paid ticket be made only when the visa application has been approved. No refund of the visa fee will be given when the application has been denied or visa has been issued but was not used or could not be used during its validity period. What are the requirements for a non-immigrant visa or a tourist visa to travel? Requirements for non-immigrant visa are the following. First, requirements must be submitted by mail or courier service and do not use FedEx. Number 2, per Bureau of Immigration regulation, must be a marriage defined by Philippine law, which means that it must be a valid marriage. Number 3, completely filled up application form. Number 4, original and photocopy of the passport with a validity that must extend at least 6 months beyond the length of proposed stay in the Philippines. Number 5, 1 2x2 size photograph taken within the last 6 months. The applicant's signature must be affixed on the front side of the picture. Number 6, a photocopy of the applicant's round-trip flight itinerary and paid reservation to his/her country of origin or his/her next country of destination. Number 7, proof of financial capacity. Latest printout of bank statements, ownership of real estate properties, and other documents showing the applicant's capacity to financially support himself/herself during his or her stay in the Philippines, and it means that you will need more than one type of proof of financial capacity. 8, cashier's check or U.S. postal money order paid to the order of the Philippine consulate in the amount of $30 for the visa fee. 9, original and photocopy of proof of marriage such as Philippine Statistics Authority or National Statistics Office or the PSA NSO marriage certificate. And number 10, letter request by the Filipino spouse addressed to the consulate with copy of valid identification card issued by the Philippine government. Number 11, return envelope that is self-addressed with prepaid postage. Please take note that if in the Philippines and visa holder wants to extend his or her stay beyond 59 days, an application for extension of stay must be filed at the Bureau of Immigration in Manila or the immigration office nearest to the place where the applicant is temporarily residing. It is recommended that the visa holder also pre-book an accredited quarantine facility and a COVID-19 testing provider. Let's talk about the ECIF or the Electronic Case Investigation Form from the Philippine Red Cross. Why do you need the ECIF to be filled out before traveling? The form is to minimize the spread of COVID-19 into the Philippines through our ports of entry. It also ensures that anyone arriving into the country will be tested for COVID-19. When do you need the ECIF to be filled out? The ECIF must be filled up prior to immigration. It is best to be filled up prior to arrival in the Philippines, and it can be completed 3 days prior to arrival in the Philippines. Who needs to fill out the ECIF form And what are the consequences of not filing or filling up the form? Any individual who is traveling to the Philippines is required to fill up the form. Those who have not accomplished the form will be required to fill in and submit their form electronically before they can proceed for immigration clearance. This will unnecessarily delay their immigration clearance. If left unaccomplished, the traveler will be unable to go pass through immigration. Are children required to undergo swab testing? The answer is yes. All passengers traveling to the Philippines are required to undergo swab testing or COVID testing, and there are no exceptions even if you have tested negative before arriving in the Philippines. What is the latest update from the Philippine Airlines? Effective August 15, 2020, all passengers are required to wear both face shields as well as face masks to comply with Philippine Department of Transportation regulations. The directive to wear face shields and face masks applies to all domestic and international flights. The shields and masks must be worn at airports and on board flights except during meals or when instructed by the flight or cabin crew to remove the shields and or masks. We request our passengers to ensure the following. Face shields must be of good quality and in good condition, clear and sturdy. The shield must fit comfortably and cover the entire face. Bring an extra supply of face shields in your carry-on baggage in case you need to replace the first one if damaged. Exempted from wearing face shields and face masks, children up to 2 years old, individuals with respiratory concerns who have difficulty breathing. Passengers are also encouraged to bring their own hand sanitizers and on-board travel essentials, including writing pens needed to fill up required forms. How much is the cost of the swab testing in the Philippines? Once you arrive at the airport, there is actually a one-stop shop established or launched by the Philippine Airlines. It is located at Terminal 2 and it has a capacity of 1,200 individuals per day. And the amount of the swab testing will be 4,500 pesos or $100. And the results will be ready after 48 hours. Are you required to book a hotel and for how long? I'm going to send the link below regarding the accredited hotels from the Department of Tourism. And you are required to book a hotel for about 2 to 3 days because the results will be in after 2 or 3 days. Who can leave the Philippines? Only those who are OFW or Overseas Filipino Workers or studying abroad, and those who have permanent resident visas in the foreign country can leave the Philippines. I hope that I provided you information in this video and I tried as much as possible to research and find the correct information based on the latest updates from different government agencies. And if you have any questions or other concerns, you can drop your comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Again, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I hope to see you soon in my next video. Until then, stay safe and enjoy your day. Bye.